Alright, that was the song, but first, a question that I'm sure will appear. Is this an upgrade to the V1 pack? No. This is completely new, different amps partly, different cabinet, different speaker, different mic pre's, different sounds. I made this, to be honest, just to myself, so because I wanted to have a little bit different sounds, because the Hard Hitters Vol.1, that was partly the same amps, but it was a different cabinet. And as you know, and if you don't know, you do, a cabinet and speaker, it's approximately 80% of the sound, in my opinion. So the first pack has a oversized Mesa Boogie with the OG V30s, and this one has a Marshall JCM 800 cabinet from 1980s with the G12 65. So different sounds. And yes, one of the reasons is also because Quad Cortex has the V2, which are closer to the real deal, and NAMM has A2. Kemper updated their profiler, so it's a new firmware, new software, which is a bit more accurate than the previous one of those said companies. So that's that out of the way. So you'll get completely new sounds, like, you know, new amps partly. But now let's go to the mix and I'll show you what I used and why. Alright, this is the mix. So there's 4 rhythm guitar tracks, hard left, hard right, and not so hard left and not so hard right. Let's listen the whole pack first. So it's pretty, you know, huge sounding guitars. So the hard left and hard right, I'm using this NAMM rig by Tone 3000 and Jordan Valovirta, and it's the full rig capture, nothing else. It's JCM 800 Bad Boy SD1 heavy, and it's the Marshall cabinet with the G12 65 speaker mic'd with SM57 and Royer 121 into SSL mic pre's and SSL 9000 channel strip for a little bit of EQ. You get the PDF when you buy this package where I've gone through the signal chain in written, and there's also pictures of every amp with the exact settings I used when I captured this. And no, this doesn't come with calibrated whatever the input. I find it completely useless, and to be honest, it kind of harms, because I use different guitars with different pickups and I'm just tweaking the input, you know, whatever fits the sound I'm hearing. This is audio, just use your ears. Okay, so that's that. And I'm reamping these when I do the captures. I have a level here that I'm determining how hard I'm hitting the amp, and there's 2 like names. There's minimum and maximum. Minimum is 8 o'clock or 7 a.m. max is 5 p.m. I have it 2 p.m. So whatever that's in dB, I have no idea and I don't care. I just use my ears. Okay. So this is the Bad Boy. The left is the Bad Boy 2. It's the same. They sound like this. And then the right guitars, the more center guitars, they're a little bit quieter. That's a 5150 lead CBOD. That's MXR Custom Badass Overdrive. You get this also separately. All the overdrives are separately captured also. Heavy, so this is direct, so there's no cabinet speaker, anything. And then I'm using a IR from my IR Pack 1, Marshall cabinet DV77, Eminence DV77 speaker mic with a single 57, then into SSL 4000E channel strip with a slight EQ. And it's the same on the right, they sound like this. The DV77 has a huge bottom end, so usually I'm using it with the 57 I don't need a Royer. Well, sometimes I use with a Royer, depending just whatever I want and works the best in any given situation. But in this situation, just a single 57 IR. So this is from my IR pack 1. Okay, and then there is these, and this was recorded with the ESP Mirage Custom you saw by the video, from the video. And the processing on this rhythm guitar bus, it's exactly the same that I do when I record with these real amps. So there's Soothe first to take out a little bit of upper mid harshness, because there's 4 guitars, those certain frequencies tends to build up, and my ears and I guess human ears in general are the most sensitive to this frequency, so I don't want to hear or have any ear fatigue. Very tiny amount of smoothing. Then I have a Pro Q. I don't like these frequencies either. They're unneeded to me in the mix, because there's a lot of stuff in that area. Cymbals, hi-hat, vocals, if this doesn't have vocals. But these 3K, 6K, I really don't like them in guitars and on many other stuff too. They're really piercing to my ears. And then a multiband compressor to tame down the low chugs. Let's go from the chorus. So it just tames down those low, jug tame low. And that's it. What, did I use any EQ? Oh yeah, well there's a little bit EQ. Let's listen how this sounds without EQ. Slightly amount of compression. So not much. Again, just whatever I did to fit the guitars in the mix a little bit better, but it's not really changing the sound. I'm just taking a little bit some stuff out like dB and adding a little bit, you know, where here's a little bit more than 1 dB 8K presence, and then a little bit high and low cut filtering. The high and low cut filtering, pretty much like this, are baked in these full rig captures. But since, again, there's a lot of stuff, I felt like I needed to filter the low end a little bit more with this 4 guitar package. Then the clean guitars, that's ADA into Fryet, that there. Solid state clean direct. So again, no cabinet, nothing, just a direct capture of that combination ADA MP1 preamp Fryet power amp. And the IR I'm using, this is from my IR pack 2, Marshall cabinet, Greenback 25, and mic with a 57 and Royer 121 into SSL channel strip. Sounds like this, the whole package, the 2 guitars. It's the same on both left and right. If I bypass all the effects, there's four kind of different choruses, harmonizer, a couple of delays, shimmer, a couple of different reverbs. And these are like aux effects, so I'm sending stuff here, and then I'm blending in these effects according to taste. And this was, I played with the Tokai Stratocaster with E flat standard tuning. Sounded the best for this purpose. And then there's the exact same thing, but I used a Plexi Crunch direct. So this is a direct capture from the Plexi, no Josema, so it's kind of this crunchy sound, your basic Plexi sound. The Josema was bypassed. You'll get a capture with the Josema, which is much more high gain. Then this is from my IR pack 3. It's a Marshall cabinet with Marshall vintage speaker and just a single 57. The IR, and the pair sounds like this. It's the same on both. I didn't use these choruses on this one. There's just this AMS chorus and then a little H3000 and just 2 delays. They have the same processing here, the Soothe Pro Q4, MB4, and the EQ I've done a little bit boost at top, taking out some 800 low mids, and the filtering is pretty high, almost 2.5, because I didn't need any low end on these. Just wanted to have the diddle-diddle-dee. There's plenty of low end from the rhythm guitar and from the bass. And here the filtering is on the clean guitars a little bit lower. 2 dB of 8 kilohertz, nothing in the upper mids, and I'm taking out a little bit of 600s in the lower mid, because again I just wanted to have these sit on top, so no low end, just a sparkly thing, and a tiny bit of chorus on the chorus compression on the bass. So that's the clean guitars and crunch guitars. Then there's these melody guitars, and when I filled myself, I played this one and then the lead. Well, you saw I just cut it and changed it to the other track. And this left rhythm guitar, this is what I played when I filmed, and all the others I played afterwards. The doubles. Okay, so the melodies, they sound like this. There's a little bit of H3000 micropits and two different delays. So this is a full rig capture of Soldano with the Maxon OD808 heavy sound, and no wire, nothing, because it's the full rig capture, which includes the amp and cabinet microphones, the whole signal chain. The right guitar is exactly the same, and then I have a little bit of compression to even the melody out. That's nice vocal-like sustain. I really like this LA3A on melody and lead guitars if I need a compression, and usually I want to have compression. I like what it does to the leads and single note lines. The processing is exactly the same on these first 3 than on the previous ones. And the EQ is, well, here again I'm filtering quite a lot and adding quite a bit of 10K, just a tiny bit of that it fits in the mix with all the other guitars and stuff. Was the H3000 dual delay and a circular delay blended in. And then the lead guitar, this is a full rig capture of JCM 800 Little Brother with SD1 in front, the whole signal chain again, and that's it, nothing else. So the H3000 kind of makes it, because it's a mono guitar, it will be dead center, but the H3000 spreads it kind of a little bit on the sides, and there's 2 delays. Dual delay, which is Lexicon PCM42, left side is this, right side is this, kind of Van Halen setting, and then the other delay is a circular delay, which I have in PCM7 is circular delay, but I'm using it. It's my own preset. I have a video about this. So I recreated the circular delays with the Fab Filters Timeless 3 delay. And those are the effects on the lead guitars. Same processing here, same compressor, EQ wise. Yeah, I'm filtering out this much, adding a little bit 8K and no low end added, tiny bit of low mids and upper mid cut, and that's it. So as you hear, you can create real professional productions, recordings completely inside the box, because these captures, especially these NAMM A2s, these are like basically identical to these real amps here and my cabinet. I'm really amazed, I'm blown away, and I like especially this one. This is my favorite because it's really simple. I like simple stuff. You just drag it here. If you have a pedal like this, the package comes with the SD1, the Maxon OD808, and the MXR custom badass OD. You can just drag them here, and then if you want to use a direct, like I used here, you drag the direct capture, and then you use an IR. And of course, I recommend, if you want to sound like me, or sound like, you know, to have the sound of my cabinets with all the woof, use my IRs. Links are in the description below. They are also Strange Angles sells these two, like, you know, the hard hitters, volume 1 and 2, and the IR packs. So that's basically the mix. Bass, if somebody wants to, let's use the bass quickly. Bass is like this. Kind of clanky sound, not much distortion work for this one. I'm using Soft Tube's Line V8. It's an Ampeg. Then I have just a clean signal. It sounds like the bass is coming from another. That's just a clean DI, and I'm filtering everything below 350 or so out. Heavy compression and yeah, boosting a ton of low end. So that was the bass sound. I want to show you how I record, if and when I record with plugins. So this is the Pro Tools session. This is the channel I'm recording it. And this is plus 28 dB. That's just I'm dialing it until it sounds good. And that, you know, the yellow light, and I pick really hard, one yellow light blinks. That's, you know, good with my system. Then the plugin behaves like a real amp. So in general, whatever interface you're using, when it's completely green, it's okay. When the yellow light is blinking, when you play really hard, that's perfect. If the red light is blinking, then you're clipping the input of the converter, not good. So when the yellow light is blinking a little bit, then the recording levels, not just with guitar, with anything, it's great. And it varies to, you know, the guitar pickups, with this guitar, with these pickups, it's plus 28 dB input. And the signal goes to a DI box now, because it's how my system is done. But I could easily just plug it into the high C, and then it will probably be something different. So yeah, so I'm recording on this channel. I have it muted. So let me show you. If I press the, I'm gonna keep this now. I'll just play something, and this is on my desktop. So no matter the buffer size of my session or anything, I can monitor with basically zero latency, because this is now, as you can see, Pro Tools Carbon input 1, output 1 and 2. This goes directly to my, you know, the monitor outputs, 48 samples, 60 samples, 0.3 millisecond. It's basically non-existent. So I'm just monitoring myself with this. Again here, you know, you're just getting the zero. Yellow lights, good. So then when I record, I press play, and then I just record on this DI track, like this. Let's put a click on. Great. Then I just change it, move it to a track. Let's duplicate this. We don't want the playlists. Great. Then I'll just put it here, and here is the plugin already on, and it sounds like. So this way I can record with basically zero latency. I'm using this just on a desktop to monitor myself. This is, I recommend doing this. This feels the most realistic to me of all the NAND players I've tried. Yeah, so this is my favorite. I have no affiliation or anything, and you know, this is free. But now let's go to the Quad Cortex. Alright, so this is the Cortex control on my computer screen. And this is my live preset. As you can see, it's pretty simple, but it's kind of not, because all of these are the full rig captures. So the basic sound is, well, right now it's the Bad Boy SD1 full rig heavy, but I will choose any amp, you know, for the heavy sound I want here, like a 5150 or, you know, 5152. And then what I have always, the last thing, and it's always on, it's the Chief DC, which is a Dimension D, and it's just 5%. It does this. It just widens the sound a tiny bit. So the basic sound is pretty much bone dry, except that 5% of Dimension D. That was some. I'll wait. Now this is the basic sound. Then I have the same sound with tiny bit of delay, and the delay is circular delays. I play mostly like melodies with this one, like Karma. The guitar is not in CYHRA tuning at the moment, but you get the idea. And you can use this for like 80s rhythms, like the Wait I just played. Get a nice little. And then I have the lead. It's again the same amp, nothing changes, except it's 1 dB louder, but that's just mostly for my in-ears. Our front of house guy does that if he needs to boost the levels. And there's been shows where I've just used this basic preset and he's done all the delays and reverb. So, you know, I could do so with the pretty much with the one sound and with the volume knob, because we have a, you know, standard, you know, front of house guy. So this has the same delay, just the mix is a little bit higher. And obviously you can tweak the mixes if you feel that you want less or more. So that's the, and then I have the phaser. If I want to use a phaser on a lead. And then I have the crunch, which is a capture of the Bad Boy without the SD. There's a tiny bit of a delay baked in. The same settings, the mix just changes, so this is 20%. Then I have a crunch extra. It's the same Bad Boy without the SD1, and delay is a little bit more delay. And then I have the phaser in front. This I use for for example, on Closer's intro. And the verses. The cleans I don't really use, they are just there if whatever. But my clean is kind of like this crunch with the volume turned down, and it gets cleaner if I switch to neck pickup, which this guitar doesn't have. But these cleans are just for... Sometimes on CYHRA shows Jake starts to do some Swedish lagers, and then I might just, you know, do some chords behind, which is kind of, but I don't use these on any songs. It's the basic lead and the crunch, basically 3 main sounds, and the others are kind of every now and then if I feel so. So you will get this preset. This is Scene. If you know, buy the Quad Cortex pack, and obviously if you have a Quad Cortex, you buy that. But anyways, the Hard Hitters Volume 2 pack is now out via Strange Angles. Links in the description below to the Hard Hitters Volume 1, which again is a different product, different sounds, different speaker, different cabinet, partly different amps. And this Hard Hitters Volume 2, which has the ADA preamp, the 5152, which weren't on the Volume 1, different cabinet, different speakers, different mic pre's, different sounds, and there's more sounds. There's basically 3 sounds per amplifier: clean, crunch, and heavy. Heavy is with the overdrive. Except 5150s doesn't have cleans, because I don't really use those for cleans, because we all know that they are mediocre at their best. Usable, but I have other amps that do cleans better. So that's that. And then links also to my IR packs, like you saw on the mix rundown I did. So I used the direct amp captures and then IRs from my packages, and then this also comes, this package, with captures of 3 of my favorite overdrives: Buzz SD1, Maxon OD808, and the MXR Custom Badass overdrive, which is pretty much a modified Buzz SD1. But hey, hopefully you found this interesting and informative. This is how I use these. I use these a lot when I'm writing songs or just noodling. I don't always use the real gear. Even though I have an isolated room here, I can play whatever volume I want. It doesn't matter, because everything's isolated and, you know, floating, so to say. But these captures are so good that lately I've actually used this a lot when writing songs or practicing and stuff, and sometimes even on the final products, because they are so good. But yeah, so thanks for watching. I think I said that already, and check out the links from the description below. The Volume 2 package, I think it will be on a discount for the first week. So this comes out in, well, today, whatever is the day. When I'm filming this, we haven't decided yet with Joseph from Strange Angles. But a week from this day, this comes out, or it's out, the Volume 2 pack will be discounted. Hopefully you enjoy the pack, and let me know in the comments what do you like, or if you don't like it for whatever reason. Until next time, happy playing, happy recording, happy practicing rock and roll, heavy metal, and so on. Cheers!